Okay, I will start this video telling you this thing. First of all, I changed my sign, just for the summer. Second of all, if you don't understand what I'm gonna say in this video, it is not something bad. Don't feel less. Because what I'm gonna say in this video is some pretty complicated stuff. And not all of you are gonna understand, but I'm gonna try. For people that are non-scientists, I will lay first some rules in the way that you understand. And if you see the question mark, that's where I'm gonna explain. This video is all about warp, not the warp speed you see in Star Trek, although they have some similarities. What I want to say first is that Einstein said that gravity can bend space. That's where wormholes are based, and wormholes are supposed to be a doorway that you can travel through space and maybe time, not realities. Yet, we don't know. And second of all, I want to explain surf. I know you're going to say surf, what the hell is that going to do? You'll see. A wave is generated because air pushes water mass from the back and takes a water mass from the front, so a wave can happen. Now, a surfer uses the wave to move without spending energy. Pretty easy? Yeah. Now, the question is, what is warp? Warp is something that was invented in Star Trek. I don't know what it means. And it was a warp field, something like this. In Star Trek, warp field is something that surrounds the ship and allows it to travel faster than light. It travels faster than light. And in Star Trek, we see ships disappear while they're going in warp. The answer is, yeah, that might happen because because it's traveling faster than light, and we might not be capable of seeing it. Now, I'm gonna talk about space. Remember the picture with the Earth and the gap underneath it and the wormholes? Hold on to that, because now I'm gonna explain what I meant with the wave. This is what I meant with the wave. We bend space. Space is bent behind the spaceship to make a wave that will complete the front. Of course, in Star Trek we see some strange engines. I'm not gonna say that's impossible, because we really don't know how it's gonna be achieved. We know nothing about it. The warp theory came out in 1995, so Star Trek wasn't around was around much before, so it hasn't got all the right principles, and most of the movies at that time didn't have the right principles. But that doesn't mean that movies that are made after 1995 have the right principles. Of course, now I'm going to talk about something else, time. Let's start with this. This is normal time, right? It moves normally. When we go 10 times the speed of sound, it moves forward because we start making a gap in space. In light speed, it stays there, hypertime. And more than light speed, it goes backwards. That's because space and time are too well together, making space-time. So speed can actually jump space, it jumps time. That's not something a car can do, except if it has rockets mounted on it, of course. But it has been done. Time travel can be achieved with a space station. Why? Because, let's go back to this. Earth has got gravity, and gravity bends space. In result, it bends time. Kinda hard. Space station also travels very fast and has no friction on it because there is no air. It also travels in the gravitational field of the Earth. Time doesn't go backwards there because it doesn't travel in the speed of light or faster than it, but it travels a little bit faster than we do for some actually smaller than a millisecond. Millions of times smaller than a millisecond. Someday we might understand warp field as in Star Trek, and we might travel, but what I told you before about warp fields, that's actually true, and actually even if we try that, we have still some time problems to solve, because remember that time will go backwards. Bad. I will explain